Hi, team. This is Peter Fortuna for the University of Phoenix BIS 200 Digital Skills for the 21st Century. This is a recast for week one. The first video did not record properly, the audio was lost. So, this is a re recording for week one cloud based Office Productivity Suite presentation assignment. In this assignment, the Vice President of Sales for your company has asked you for more information on cloud based Office productivity suites. He tells you the team is often remote and needs to be able to stay connected. They need to be able to view price sheets, prepare memos and sale agreements, make presentations to clients, have access to their email and schedule, and attend meetings remotely. He asks you to present your productivity suite recommendation at next week's team meeting. So we are to create a 6 to 10 slide presentation about a cloud-based productivity suite, identify how each of the above needs can be met, and the collaborative benefits provided by the suite. Your presentation must include a title slide not included in the slide count, appropriate and related graphics or images, detailed speaker notes or recorded audio narration. You can find instructions on the link here at Microsoft support site, a reference slide citing all resources used in the presentation and speaking notes not included in the slide count. At the bottom, you'll find some links for that might help you. You can use them as resources. There's one on how to add or delete audio. There's the standard link to the Center for Writing Excellence, the standard link for reference and citation generator, the standard link to the grammar assistance. There's a link for an article about the best office suites in 2020. And number 6 is another article for 8 essential types of software every business needs. And link 7 is a link to the PowerPoint example for this assignment that I created. So let's go ahead and notice that on this assignment there's a lot of hyperlinks. So if you don't know what the term cloud-based office productivity suites refers to, you can click that link. When you click the links, I recommend that you right click and then you click open in a new tab. All the browsers have that feature. I'm using the browser Microsoft Edge, which is Microsoft's browser that they push for Windows users. But they all have that feature. Open link in a new tab. So when they talk about remote needs, I provided links to what Microsoft Office 365 is about and what the new Google Workforce. It's not really new. It's a rebranding of G Suite, and some of us may not know about Amazon WorkDocs. That's another vendor for office type products. And there's many more, but those are the big three and the ones that I've added to this presentation. When they talk about price sheets, those are spreadsheets. So the big ones again are the Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel. There are other software vendors that I'll be adding likely before class starts, but the big two currently are Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, and I believe Apple may have their own slide presentation. I'm sorry, their own spreadsheet software. I'll check on that, and if I find it, I'll add it. When they talk about preparing memos and sales agreements, that's word processing type stuff, type activities, type functions. So the big three again are from Microsoft, Google, and Apple. Microsoft Word, Google Doc, and then Apple Pages or Apple, I believe it's called Hi. Those are all word processors. When they talk about making presentations, that's slide decks. I believe Amazon has a slide deck. I have to research that. But again, the big three are Google Slides, Apple Keynote, Microsoft PowerPoint. Those are um, applications that you can use on the desktop. Then we have Canva and Prezi, which are the new generation of pretty much cloud-based only applications for presentation software type stuff, slideshows, PowerPoint shows, slide decks. When they talk about access to their email, the big three again are provided by Microsoft, Google, and Apple. So Microsoft Outlook, Google's Gmail, and Apple Mail. You can click those links for more information about those types of applications. And scheduling, that term is kind of changing because a lot of applications now allow people to actually schedule appointments. I believe Microsoft and the Google and as well as the Apple calendars can do scheduling, but I believe you have to use a third party plug-in vendor's software to get that to work. There are a lot of applications now that offer online scheduling, and a lot of like personal trainers, dentists, doctors, people that are billed hourly, accountants, attorneys, they use those kind of scheduling software so that they can charge their clients. But for our purposes, we're using the idea of a schedule as a calendar, and the big three again are Microsoft Calendar, Google Calendar, and Apple Calendar. When they refer to attend meetings remotely, that's meeting software. So again, we're looking for like a business suite. We could get Zoom or GoToMeeting, but then we wouldn't necessarily have a built-in word processor or a spreadsheet application. What's nice about Microsoft, Google, is that they have built-in applications that tie to their other products and services. So in Microsoft's case, it's Microsoft Teams. Google has Google Meet, which was formerly called Google Hangout. I wasn't able to find anything from Apple. If you know an Apple application that's from Apple itself that is used for scheduling of meetings or meeting applications, let me know. I'll add it to my next video. But again, we could spend a lot of time and find really great niche software applications that might do great presentations like Prezi. We might find applications that have awesome meeting features like Zoom or GoToMeeting, but we're trying to find an application suite that has all of those put together. And right now, there really is only two big vendors that does it all. It's Microsoft and Google. Apple does almost all of it, but from what I'm seeing, they don't do all of it. And Google struggles to do all of it on desktop. So, having said that, the company that has great online cloud based applications that are nearly fully formed or fully baked, and then has a fully formed desktop, a fully baked software suite for businesses, that's Microsoft. We are also a Microsoft campus at University of Phoenix, so everyone that's a student or faculty has access to the whole suite. Well, a lot of the suite from Microsoft. We have an enterprise version that gives us OneNote, um, bookings, and a bunch of other applications. Let me pull this off to the side. But make sure it's showing. But for us, we have class notes, forms, the calendar, bookings, Yammer, Stream, and many more applications for that have a business purpose, like the whiteboard. We haven't really used the whiteboard or Visio. Visio is awesome because it's even a more robust drawing application than PowerPoint. But again, all these applications are with Microsoft 365. And that's why, again, currently, while there are a lot of vendors that do some things great or wonderfully or perfect, the one that does it all and the one that we use at University of Phoenix is Microsoft Office. So that's information about the assignment, and then the actual PowerPoint that I created is here. My title, the objective of the PowerPoint is to select cloud-based office productivity suites. I've added um, slide notes, and I copied the assignment in there so that I make sure I get everything that they're speaking about. I target my target audience is the executives, the C-level executives, or the C-level. You'll hear that a lot now. The C-level. That's a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, the CTO, Chief Technology Officer, and so on. I listed the matrix that it had to have a cloud component, that it had to be able to have a word processor, presentation software, to be able to calculate using spreadsheets, has an email component, allows for collaboration, and then allows for remote meetings and calendaring. So in the presentation, I would say something like, the vice president of sales of our company asked me to provide information on cloud-based office productivity suites. The 5 metrics that we're looking at is that it has to have a cloud-based component, the software has to have a word processing component, the ability to create presentations, the ability to do spreadsheets, calculations, price sheets, and such, has to have an email component that allows our employees to work both at home and off-site. This software suite has to allow for full collaboration of all the documents that we use here in our company. And the software suite has to have the ability to hold meetings and allow us to share those informations based on our calendar. And then I would advance the slide and I would say this is the comparison, and our ratings are from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best. We use the matrix that we discussed prior. The app has to have a cloud solution, has to have word processing, presentation, and calculation abilities, has to have an email feature. Everything in the suite has to allow for collaboration. The suite has to allow for remote meetings and calendaring. And then I provided the totals. So again, I tried to highlight the winner, Microsoft Office 365, and the scores it received and the total. And then I would basically tell the group, whoops, the board, that again, even though there are many other business suites out there, the one that does it all, including the desktop component, is Microsoft Office 365. Additionally to that, the Microsoft Office 365 desktop component is something that almost every business professional has grown up using. So there's very little learning curve. Additionally, for the most part, PCs um, are less costly, and Android devices are less costly than the Mac software and hardware. So for this reason, I would suggest that we select Microsoft Office 365. Then my resources. This video will have what we just this slide will have the video I just created in it, and then the last slide will be a slide for questions. So if you have any questions or you need any help, give me a reach out, and I'll try to assist you with this assignment. Thanks again. This is Peter Fortuna for the University of Phoenix, BIS 200, Digital Skills for the 21st Century.